Hi folks! This year the Best Makeup category is a pretty difficult one to read due to the relative obscurity of the nominees. Each film is nominated for Best Makeup and Best Makeup only, so it's hard to tell which one has been more widely seen or is the most liked. The first nominee is Barney's Version, makeup supervised by Adrian Moreau. The film uses subtle makeup effects to convincingly age Paul Giamatti by several decades, and the work is quite realistic. The makeup branch often nominates films that display nuanced aging work, even if they're films not a lot of people have seen, like last year's nomination for the Italian film Il Divo. However, aging makeup will usually only win when it represents a popular, high-profile film or a Best Picture nominee, along the lines of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button or Driving Miss Daisy, so I'm not predicting it for the win, although it could certainly still happen. The second nominee is Peter Weir's The Way Back, with hair and makeup by Edouard Henrique, Greg Funk, and Yolande Toussaint, the exact same team that was nominated in 2004 for Weir's Master and Commander The Far Side of the World. Unfortunately, due to budgetary limitations, Newmarket Films could only afford to give the film a very small release in late January, but it did run for 1 week in Los Angeles during December so that it may qualify for Oscar consideration. It would seem that not a lot of Academy voters went to see it, but obviously enough members of the makeup branch did, and they liked what they saw. With good reason, too. The film features very detailed makeup effects that simulate various manner of physical hardships, such as sunburn, heatstroke, malnourishment, and other ailments suffered by a group of escapees from a Russian labor camp. But regardless of how realistic and well-crafted the work is, I still suspect that not enough people have seen the film for it to pull off a win here. The final nominee, and my predicted winner, is The Wolfman, makeup designed by Dave Elsey and the legendary Rick Baker. If you don't know who Rick Baker is, shame on you, you really should, but I'll tell you anyway. He was the first person to win the makeup category in its inaugural year of 1981 for his groundbreaking special effects makeup on An American Werewolf in London. Flash forward 29 years, and he now has 6 Academy Awards on his mantle and is back in the race once more for his astonishing werewolf wizardry. There's a lot of supplementary makeup in the film besides the werewolf effects, such as illnesses and wounds that had to be rendered just as artfully, and as always, Baker and his team have done an impressive job. I do wonder if it might lose this category anyway, because the movie was not that warmly received, and having opened over a year ago, it might already be happily forgotten by the Academy. But when in doubt, it's not unreasonable to anticipate that members will vote for the quote-unquote most makeup, and there's no denying that the Wolfman clearly has the most, or at least the most noticeable makeup of the 3. That being said, this category is still pretty wide open. Any of them could end up the winner. Be sure to check back tomorrow for my rundown of the nominees for Best Foreign Language Film.